about the Jon Jones situation, right? Something that I thought was weird was like he was supposed to fight you, and then he had this injury that supposedly needed surgery. So I think you got booked for another fight, and then he turned up and said, "Oh, I don't need surgery."
Yeah.
What was all that about?
I guess they said that. Yeah, that's the thing that kind of pissed me off. And then he like even had the nerve to say that I was dodging him because I legitimately have a thumb issue and that needed rehab.
Well, you've got a big scar on your hand. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I got a legitimate thumb injury, but I didn't fake a thumb injury not to fight somebody. But it is what it is. You know, the thing about the whole Jon Jones situation is that I can talk about it to death. You know, blah blah blah, talk about it.
Do you think if you took Jon Jones out of the equation at Jackson's and everything else, you'd still be at Jackson's? Or do you think in your heart of hearts, you always wanted to kind of set up your own team? There was always guys out there you wanted to work with later, you know, in your career anyway?
You know, quiet as a captain, a lot of people really haven't hit on it. But before I left, before the Jon Jones thing, I did my last 2 camps at Grudge in Imperial. I mean, at Grudge in Denver.
Yeah.
So, you know, before the whole Jon Jones situation even blew up, I kind of felt the tension was there, so I left. But the main reason, more than anything, I started to leave the Jackson camp is because it became like a factory. You know, you wasn't getting that one-on-one attention. Greg completely got away from the way we used to be, and that's one thing that, you know, made us great, was the fact that Greg put a lot of time in us. But, you know, Greg is such a caring person that he does not know how to say no to people. So everybody wants to come and train. He just kept saying yes and yes and yes. So the team got so big and out of control that it lost that connection, lost that feel. At some point, you have to understand that you can't take so many people from the same weight class. You got to choose a side, you know. And Greg is an expert at trying to be impartial and trying to be, you know, stay in the middle. But at one point, you do have to choose a side.
Do you think Chael Sonnen showed us the way to beat Jon Jones in the way he almost beat Anderson Silva? I think that's a similar way to do it.
I think it's definitely some way to do it, you know. But the big difference between Anderson Silva and Jon Jones is that Jon Jones is a pretty damn good wrestler himself, you know. But I think, you know, Chael Styles definitely got the right idea. You know, you give those guys space, and then they would create and make you look stupid. You know, if you don't give them any kind of space, then you got to put them in the hot seat a little bit.